disrupted.
America that I fought.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. The beer dilemma, the beer apocalypse, the beer downfall is still continuing on, ladies and gentlemen. The fallout of Bud Light and their decision to team up with Dylan Mulvaney wasn't exactly the best marketing choice that they made. And things are still continuing for the worse for Bud Light. They have completely abandoned their core demographic to cater to this, getting into the ideological politics and the identity and getting into the woke wagon. It's not turning well for them. So just to highlight this is from Rebel News Media in Australia. They pointed out that over a month after Bud Light announced its collaboration with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, the beer's brand sales continued to take a significant hit, according to retail data from Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ. Now, let me just be frank that this is not a shot at transgender people. I respect them as much as any other human being. I, will defend and I will support their basic principle rights as much as any other person. I think they need to be recognized as, a human being as much as anyone else. I'm not going to, discriminate on workplace or marriage or love or anything like that. But this just kind of hit a nerve with a lot of people, and this kind of made me kind of cringe a bit on the fact that Dylan Mulvaney, out of all people, Dylan Mulvaney was their prime choice into partnering with Bud Light. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of seems like the worst turn imaginable. You pick the worst of the crops to team up with. Because I can think of a lot of, transgender influence. Like Caitlyn Jenner, for example. They could have teamed up with her and maybe had more success with this. But Dylan Mulvaney, a middle-aged guy, posing as a young girl, as, she identifies herself, isn't exactly the way to go. And Bud Light took it really, really hard. But now there's another company that's also jumping onto the woke wagon. And another beer company, surprisingly, Miller Lite has their own little commercial out. Basically kind of going down this direction. They didn't go the direction as Bud Light did. So maybe the sales aren't going to tank as bad, but this is kind of also very head-scratchy, weird. Anyway, I don't know what to really make of this, but I'm going to show it to you, and you take a judge for yourself.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing.
Okay.
Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow.
Oh, God, I feel like I know where this is going. Wow, indeed. Wow, indeed. Maybe not in the same context as she's saying it, but wow. This is just, I don't know what, who are the people that are sitting in the marketing rooms of these beer companies and make up these decisions? Like, who are these people? I really want to know what the mindset of all this is. Like, who is this going to cater to? Considering we live in a generation where OnlyFans exist and you got, bikini shots of models on Instagram and Pornhub and, we're supposed to embrace sexuality. I thought that was the whole, our generation thing. We're supposed to embrace the sexuality of women and embrace their beauty, embrace their, attractiveness. Because that's a beautiful model. That's a beautiful model on, not to discriminate or say anything, but it's a beautiful person. And now you're saying about women brewing and lining that and saying that, oh, we're just gonna we're gonna discriminate people, in beautiful bikini shots. Like, I just don't know who this is gonna cater to. I really don't know.
Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's
Whoa. Wait a second. So, you just announced, women in bikinis selling beer that this is not going to go. And then you go to a shop where you have a room full of bikini-clad women and say that we're not going to go down this direction, like some sort of Jedi mind trick, like, oh, we're not going to use pretty people to sell beer. As we're showing you pretty people to sell beer. Not only that, but did you notice that Miller Lite just announced that they're going to self-censor themselves? You heard that, right? They're going to go through the internet and take away their past advertising. Let me play that again. That's just how insane that is.
Beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers.
So Miller Lite, with all their money, with all their resources, not to make better beer, not to make better ingredients and actually make a sustainable product, which, would be the forefront of any good consumer-based good. But because we live in an ultra-consumeristic, I don't give a crap, sycophantic world that we're in right now, they're going to scour the internet to take away their former advertising and delete it off the internet. That's where their resources are going towards. They're going to self-censor their past advertisements. And not only that, other companies. So Miller Lite are now the censor people. They're now the tone police. They're going to go and cower around the internet to take down advertisements of pretty people selling beer. Again, who is this catering to? Who exactly is the demographic that's going to look at this and go, wow, they're definitely making progress. I'm going to take a sip of theirs. Holy crap. And then they're going to mulch it into fertilizer? Is that the end goal? What the hell's going on?
Literally, good How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer.
That good helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement.
We're going to scour through your basement, your garage, under the bed, wherever you keep those magazines. Oh my God. Oh my God. This sounds like an overbearing mother. You're hiding the magazines. I'm going to find them and I'm going to take them away. And I'm going to shred them and turn them into mulch. And I'm going to use them for my garden. Which, all in all, isn't that a good thing then? So, really, you're saying that the advertisements of bikini-clad women are actually useful. In your way, you're mulching it down to use as fertilizer to grow the crops, so technically, it's a good thing we had those advertisements. So why are you taking them away? This is insane. This is insane. Who the hell came up with this? Who the hell greenlight that? I want to know who the marketing team of these beer companies are. Like, why can't they just, keep it simple? Keep it simple and just keep it simple. It's the KISS method. If anyone's ever taken a marketing class, you know about the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. That's how it's always been. Don't make it any weirder than it is. Just keep it as simple as possible. And I'll show you how it worked later on, but let's watch the rest of this.
Send any you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good too. Oh. So
Oh
here's
my
to women.
God. Oh my God. Why would you do that? Why would you stick your hand in fertilizer and sniff it? Like, you want to make sure it's actually good fertilizer? What? Why do that? Why do that? Was that an acting choice? Are you like the lady from CNN that had sniffed the backpack to make sure it was actually, chemically bound? Like, oh yeah, there's dangerous toxins in here. I might die, but I had to make sure, so I'm going to sniff the entire backpack. Holy crap.
Because without us, there would be no beer.
And without us, you would not have any good customers. Holy crap. So that's what Miller Lite did. Probably not as bad as the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco, but it's still awful. It's still awful. Like, they went outside the box, but pretty much pressed up against it. And then that got into this. Remember when the response to the Dylan Mulvaney, Bud Light, the fiasco, and the boycotting and all this stuff? So, remember there was this guy, Seth Weathers, who came up with his own beer. And he says, this is an update on your ultra-right beer order and what to expect going forward. So literally, he launched a beer company called Conservative Dad's Ultra-Right Beer. And let me scroll down. So this is what it looks like here. So there it is there. Ultra-Right Beer, 100% woke-free American beer. And all I could say with this is, it's amazing that the anti-woke people are sounding more and more like the woke people. They're sounding more and more like the people they're supposed to be against. Like, this is what happens when you intertwine politics into consumer goods. And that's why I say, keep it simple. It's beer, okay? Don't intertwine that with, transgender and identity politics and, leftism and right and conservative and liberal. Like, no one cares. It's beer. It's freaking beer, okay? It's like the theme song to Cheers. People just want to drink so they can forget their problems, go to a place where everybody knows their name. That's all they want. They don't want to deal with ultra-right or left or woke or this or that. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Use the amount of money and resources to make your product better. That's what I would say. Make your beer actually taste better. For starters. Don't get intertwined with this, insanity. It literally is insanity. Because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're hurting the reputation of your own product. Every time that a company tries to do this and they try to have their best interest for the people and the public, it's hurting themselves. No one cares. At the end, it's just beer. Just like, it's cookies or it's a car or it's just a consumer good. It's not why politicize it? So, why I want to show you all this and what I'm leading into. When I say keep it simple, stupid, the KISS method, is because we know that works. We know how well that works. And it definitely worked back in the 90s. So, I want to show you this. This is a commercial that Bud Light did for the Super Bowl back in 1995, my birth year. So it's about 28 years old, almost 28 years old. And they did this advertisement, and it's the most simple, as simple as it gets. This was named one of the top 10 advertisements of Super Bowl history. And it worked so well that during that commercial, when the commercial aired, Budweiser, Anaheim Budweiser, sales soared when this commercial aired because they kept it simple and they didn't politicize it. So, take a look at this.
Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines.
See what I mean? By keeping it simple? It's literally frogs repeating the line over and over again, which is another marketing technique. If you say the name over and over again, it's going to get, mentally captivated in your mindset. And it's going to make you buy it. And that worked. It worked. It was the most successful ad campaign that Budweiser ever did. Same with the Clydesdale. Cute animals are selling better beer than people. Maybe that's what they should do. Just forget people and focus on the cute animals, because everyone likes animals regardless of political ideologue or what you identify as. And honestly, that's maybe why I have more respect for the animal world than I do with people. I'm just saying. Because animals know how to keep it simple. They just know how to live and just deal with their own shit. They're not focused on egos or, making themselves, fit into society. They're just trying to live life. And I think that's awesome. Which also leads to this, and I don't know how accurate this is, but I want to point this that someone made about that commercial. So they say that the 1995 Budweiser frog commercials, the one you just saw there, were directed by Gord Verbinski, who directed the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So think about that. Think about that. The commercial with frogs repeating Budweiser over and over again was so successful that the director went on to do blockbuster films. The people responsible for the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco are now getting fired, and their sales are plummeting. So keep that in mind to any company that's thinking of going the direction of wokeness because they think that it's, honest and fits in with the public. Just think twice about that. Think about what Budweiser used to do in the 90s. Think of how simple that commercial was and how successful it was. Because once you keep it simple, you're going to succeed. You're going to really take off because it was not politicized. It did not dive into, political ideologues or identity or anything like that. It was just about beer. It was about animals repeating the name of a beer company. That's all it was. And this guy went off to do 3 Pirates of the Caribbean films. As opposed to the marketing directors now that are jeopardizing their own careers by pushing this forward. So, that's it. That's it. That's the biggest thing I can take away from this is not politicize consumer goods. Simple as that. Not politicize it. Just keep it focused on the product itself. Spend your time and energy. If you want to make things better for yourself, spend the time and energy to make the product better. That's what I would say. Make it actually better for the consumer. Not this ad campaign where you're just picking random, minorities and just stop doing that. Stop doing that. Focus, keep it simple. That's all it really is.